musicians group on FA.
Hey!
And of course, joining us today, once again, Inpw is finally back with us since his week of absence from last week. And again, we have Scratch also doing Scratch things.
I finished my beer. I'm having another one.
I hate you.
It's vice beer. Even.
I hate you even more. Any case, so we're going to be talking about a couple of furry community things. We're going to be talking to Arrkay about his YouTube page, which we will actually post onto the site now. Oh shoot, yes. Arrkay. If you would avert your eyes to the Skype page and have a look at that, and you can actually follow the chats as they come through. We apparently need a noise filter, says Rakuen. I know that we have a little bit of Scratch coming in, but the thing is that it's not actually Scratch, I'm sorry. But yeah.
It could be the fan that I'm running.
Yeah, it could be the fan that you're running.
I'm going to mute it.
I'm also running AC. It's an incredibly hot day here in Canada, so I've all the fans and air conditioners running at full blast.
Hot day in Canada? Is it like 22 degrees?
About.
Oh my god.
Yeah, about Celsius.
So 22 degrees Celsius.
Yeah,
that's a hot day.
That's a winter day here.
That is a mild day in South Africa.
It was 22 today. I'm walking around in slop.
It's actually 24. Feels like 28.
Yeah. Is the real feel 28?
Real feel? Oh. I don't know.
Any case, so Canadian weather aside, so yeah, we're gonna talk to you guys about like your various projects and things like that. You guys recently made your dummies for fursuits now.
That's right. That's what we did this afternoon. Yeah. So to make a duct tape dummy, you get some old clothes and then you wrap yourself up in duct tape as tight as you can, and then you cut yourself out.
And the worst part is around like your crotch area when somebody has to.
That's a complicated area, for sure.
Well, I mean, it depends on how close your friends are. I mean, the thing is that depending on how close I am with my friends, then yeah, I guess I'd have to. I guess it'd be very awkward if you actually like had things happening down there as it was happening, sitting there going like, I need out of this now. Because it's really beginning to tighten up.
Who are you guys commissioning?
Oh, I'm making the suits, actually.
Oh, okay, right.
I made my own partial named Whip, because he's a work in progress. He's a bird of paradise.
So you named him Whip?
Yeah, and basically he's just the fursuit I experiment on, and I'm constantly taking apart and putting back together. Because he's gonna die a Frankenstein. I
have a head that I do that with. A thing that I bought for pretty cheap online. That is like some Halloween aid.
It costs like $80, like dollars.
Yeah,
roundabout.
Rip it apart, put new fur on, check what happens.
Cool.
Rip it apart, do it again.
Give yourself like 5 hours for once.
The first episode, the next episode of Culturally Effed, the first thing I talk about is this $80 fursuit head that you can buy at like a retail store.
I think it could be that same one. It's like this white fox.
Yeah, this one that I was thinking of was a cat.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was more generic mammal. All mammals look the same to me.
No. The one I'm talking about is called Mr. Fox.
Wow.
And they make
generalization.
And they make that one, and then they make one that is a pug head. Now, just because I'm me, I really wanted the pug head as well.
I don't know what everyone's experience with pugs are. I hate the things.
Yeah, look, I mean, the thing is that they sound like they're dying most of the time.
Yeah, they kind of. I mean, since their face is so smushed in the air, it's not very good.
But that is actually a real problem. Is they
totally is. Yeah.
Struggle breathing.
Yeah.
People don't know that, but your pug can die because it can't breathe.
Freaking inbreeding.
It's like cutting the whiskers off a cat. When it leans down for water, it'll drown itself. Don't ask me how I know this.
I don't want to see that.
Still alive, thank you.
Yes, please.
But yeah, apparently that's what happens. People have experimented with this. Their like center of balance is so bad that they literally just like fall into the water and can't get out.
Wait, is culture?
Use the word.
Yeah, try it. Yeah.
Culturally effed your channel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool! Because I started following you as well.
Sweet. Yeah, I hope everyone can subscribe. We just got our own official URL, which is very easy to remember, and I can't wait to say it live on my next episode. Say youtube.com/culturallyeft, because now that will actually take you somewhere instead of just a 404 page.
What do you need to do to actually get that? Like, you need 250 viewers?
Something like that, yeah. You need a minimum number of subscribers. I thought it was 400, but YouTube, I guess, gave it to me at 250. So maybe it's because they see like a rise in numbers. Yeah,
eventually.
They maybe it's more of a level of engagement, maybe, because I've had a fair number of comments on a lot of my videos now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I followed you because you talked about jackals.
Oh yeah, was that the
Wow.
episode on gods?
It was it was the first 2 episodes. The first one you also actually did something.
Yeah, those ones were pretty rough. Just because we were still getting used to that whole YouTube thing.
Actually, the first one that I watched was the one on Mucks and Muds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was actually pretty awesome. Quite enjoyed it. The beginning of furry, to an extent, like electro furry.
Yeah, exactly. Like furry was starting to become a thing at sci-fi cons, and these nerds were starting to notice each other, and then they started to meet, and then about around the same time they started setting up these online communities when very few other online communities were around. So yeah, it's pretty neat to find all of this out, just to see how we made a fandom out of basically nothing. We invented almost all of it ourselves.
Huh.
Yeah, that is what is unique about this fandom, in my personal opinion, is that it's not cosplaying when you're fursuiting even, because
it's like original character.
It's an original character.
Yeah.
So it's way more creative.
And I also think that, like, if you compare it to other fandoms out there, there's sort of a time limit on a lot of fandoms. Like, we'll go up to the Brony fandom and explain that. I mean, it's based off a show. So when the show ends, there's only going to be so long before the fandom starts to shut down a bit. Then what happens is that communities like that, they fall into the furry community and you know, maybe the deep and dark community, and it's kind of like adding to our numbers. I thought it was pretty cool. And what keeps the furry fandom in that perpetual state of expansion is because
we make our own content.
Yeah, it's all drawn by everything is driven by one's own imagination, and it's so long as we have imagination, we have the furry community, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, like we can geek out about stuff that like Disney makes or like the comic book producers make, but really the biggest thing furries get furry about is our own stuff. Like, we make our own artwork, and every time someone makes a new persona and orders a reference sheet or draws their own artwork, they're contributing to the fandom.
Yeah.
Yep. They're making more content.
As a point, and on that, Rakuen actually mentions that the creativity distinction is actually a bit more fuzzy than people seem to think.
I don't understand what he means by that. A bit more fuzzy.
I think that maybe he means that it's just a little bit. It's a lot more. It's not as clear cut.
Yeah, well, we don't have a pre-created canon to base everything off in. So you're going to have a lot of those blurry lines, and you're going to have micro-canons where, you know, a community of people would get together and follow a specific sort of canon they've come up with that contains their characters, and it kind of goes like that.
Well, I mean, if we think about it like that, I mean, like, just as that kind of thing is this, I mean, like, the Therianthropes are also out there around about the same time. In as much as, like, you know, wolves or lycanthropy and things like that. And I think lycanthropy, if you look at the like proliferation of wolves and wolf characters and things like that, or dog or canine characters, like that, because it has been canon for so long, like the entire idea of turning into a werewolf or whatever, that kind of like spread through, and I guess that's probably one of the, well, and I know that for once that was my first sort of delving into it when I was like 11. I used to think that I was either a vampire or a werewolf.
Oh, I've got a funny story about that, but perhaps we'll save that for later.
A werepire?
Yeah, werepire. Pretty
Okay.
much a la the very what is it? First or second Morrowind.
A really confused Skyrim.
Oh, Morrowind, yeah, I like you.
Wait, I thought you couldn't get vampirism and werewolfism in Morrowind. I thought it was one or the other.
No, you could get both. I think.
Oh.
I know that you can
I
get
didn't know
both.
about that.
I know you can definitely get both in Skyrim.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Okay. I just downloaded the DLC for Skyrim, and when I was doing the vampire quest, they were like, "Oh, we'll cure your werewolfism." So I just sort of assumed it was like incompatible.
But I don't. Speaking of Skyrim and the werewolves and the vampires, I am on the computer, so you know all the modding and stuff, and it seems though we had to reintroduce the sanguine lupus virus into the game, because I think the only way you can turn into a vampire, a werewolf, is like if you're in if you're part of that guild, or you find that ring in that one town far west of Skyrim. I think that's the only two ways, really. So.
Yeah, I never really finished Skyrim or Morrowind.
I mean, it's not really the kind of games that really they have the main quest that ends, but
There
the
is
whole
no
point
end.
is that there is no end.
I actually played Morrowind for about maybe 3 to 4 hours before I got too frightened of skeletons. This actually happened. When I played,
I played Morrowind for days and days when I was a kid.
I lost that much time on Fallout.
I
much more prefer that setting than the.
It's the online stuff that I don't like.
Yeah.
It's like World of Warcraft. I played for 30 minutes, decided it was really boring, and stopped. And then a few years later, I played for another 30 minutes and decided it was exactly the same. And I never played World of Warcraft again. I thought it was boring waste of time.
You just went one step further than me. You logged in again and played for another 30 minutes.
You know what? Like, you can try something once, but if you're not in the right mindset, then you might not get the full experience of it. So I think everything is worthy of a second chance, but if it still sucks, then it sucks.
Eve was...
Sorry for any World of Warcraft fans out there.
Eve Online was kind of forced upon me.
I'm
And then you got into it.
player. No offense, Dick.
Scratch recovering, really?
Yes,
you never recovered. You never recovered.
I canceled my account like a week ago.
About a week ago?
Yeah. I have like 14 days playtime left and I haven't logged in since, what, Wednesday?
Good. Hopefully you recover for good this time.
Since
I mean,
Wednesday.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief, I don't like grinding.
Okay, but good for you.
Moving on from that. So yeah, I mean, like, how did Arrkay, like, how did you sort of come up with the entire culturally effed idea?
I don't know. I was just sort of like had the ideas floating around in my head for a really long time. It's just like, where does this all begin? Like, because you just keep going back. Like, well, there was furries, and before furries there was like sci-fi conventions, and before that there was like H.G. Wells, and before that it just keeps going back and back and back forever. And I was really curious about that,
And your channel starts with the Egyptian gods.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes even further back than that.
I know.
Like, it goes back to the
Mayans.
first little... No, even earlier. Check out my first episode on cave paintings. The first artworks we were creating. The oldest piece of sculpture we have is a hunk of ivory that someone carved into a lion man. It's called the Lion Man of Oldensteinstadel. It was found in Germany, and it's dated back 30,000 years old.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot older than
the oldest piece
mythology.
of artwork that any human has ever made is furry.
I mean, ancient
And
Egypt.
I decided I needed to start writing this down and formatting it, and I decided I did some YouTube in school, in college. We had a project where we had to create either a podcast or YouTube channel and create 6 episodes of it. So I was like, well, YouTube would be a great medium for this because I can show examples and all that, and just sort of climb up the ladder of media and history until we get to furries. And so that's exactly the format of the first few episodes. We start in the ancient times of thousands of years ago, and then we move up a little bit to the ancient Egyptians, which is a little bit more recent, and then from there we move in to myths and legends, and then literature, and then we talk about comic books and the internet and technology, and then eventually we get to furries themselves, and I've been spending a few episodes talking about furries, and I have a lot more episodes to talk about furries to come.
Well, Rakuen mentions that he actually wants to see this channel, apparently. Well, maybe he should check this channel out.
Yeah, it is posted here. I think Arrkay posted it.
Yeah. Just scroll up.
Sure, I can.
Otherwise,
I can post links to those specific videos too.
Yeah,
YouTube.com/culturallyf. All one word.
You mentioned. Sorry, Arrkay, to like butt in. You mentioned like H.G. Wells. Where did H.G. Wells where does that fall on the spectrum? Like, I didn't know H.G. Wells did anything.
The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Of course,
you write that.
Wells.
Oh, okay.
Where Dr. Moreau has a whole island full of furry monstrosities.
Yeah, well,
if you actually read the book, it's incredibly racist.
Well, it's a thing. I mean, same with
Fritz the cat.
No, same with Lovecraft.
Absolutely.
I mean, Lovecraft's racist as shit, but I mean that's a product.
And sexist.
Yeah, racist, sexist, and xenophobic, and all the phobias.
As was the fashion of the time.
You should actually do a stick on Finnish religion as well. They have I think as far as I can remember, one of their gods' his name is Ukko, who was essentially also apparently one of the very first sort of metal gods. He played a lute that was distorted.
I'm writing this down. How do you spell Ukko?
Ukko.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up later.
There's a band that does a song called the Spirit of Ukko, which is actually pretty awesome. They sort of go into Finnish religion. They're pretty awesome as a sort of Finnish power metal band. So maybe have a look at that. And apparently he was a deer god.
Oh, dear god.
Caribou or something.
Cool.
Ukko.
I will definitely look into that. Anytime anyone mentions oh, you should check this out, I always write it down. So even if it's just one little tidbit, I think it might be worth saving for future episodes. I'm always looking for these little bits of culture from all over the world to add.
But that raises a lot of questions. Is how many stuff is actually lost that nobody will ever actually know?
Well, we can only speculate.
But there's a funny story. You guys are familiar with the epic Beowulf? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, so Beowulf, when it was found, I mean, in its original written, it was being used as a cutting board for a really long time because the people who owned it had no clue what it was about. This is way, way, way back when. So the idea that one of the greatest literary pieces of literary works was used as a cutting board at one point in time, and no one knew what the heck it was about. There's probably so much lost stuff we still have to find in this world.
Hell, dude! I mean, think about this. Think about the sacking of the Great Library of Alexandria. How much was lost there? Jesus.
It wasn't just sacked; it was burnt to the ground.
Sacked, razed, whatever. All that horrible shit.
The thing is, if it was sacked, they would at least find half the books. But the thing is that it wasn't sacked.
Yeah, so sacked,
literally
razed,
ripped to shreds,
destroyed. Oh, Hypatia.
Oh, you poor person. Stoned to death after being
told a witch,
choked to death by her own servant.
Anyway, away from that morose topic.
Yeah. Rakuen is asking for a link. Oh no, wait, you're asking Rakuen for a link.
Rakuen said he made a video about furry history and furry definitions, and I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, me also.
Oddly enough, about that video, that's that same video that I was talking about last week. Rakuen would, his EF21 talk.
Yeah, I didn't see his EF21 talk. I saw that.
Gonna watch that later. Thanks, Rakuen.
He said that he did an EF21 talk, but
it's apparently on Green Reaper's site.
Oh, okay.
Green Reaper's YouTube thingy. Yeah. Nice. So have a look at that as well, because Rakuen does a talk. Rakuen talking.
Sweet. Someone actually on my channel requested that I do a video on furry terminology. So that's next in line, as I'm going to do all of the furry buzzwords. But then I decided I'm going to keep all of the adult words and the hate words. I'm going to put those in a separate video, and I'm going to have 2 videos on furry lingo.
1 over 18 and...
Exactly. One is going to be for grown-ups, and one is just going to be for general use.
So, things like few and rum. Yeah. Good.
Basically, every second sentence I say will be banned.
Arf, arf.
So you guys made the duct tape dummies. Sorry, I'm going a little bit back to that topic because, well, I think all three of us actually want fursuits, but most people actually go for the partials, and you don't need a duct tape dummy for that.
Yeah,
but you have a?
Yeah, I made a partial. I made this big crazy wing aperture that like fans out and is this big uncomfortable to do. And I made the bird head with an articulated jaw, but then like I wasn't satisfied with it, so I cut it all up and added some more color. But now I'm very interested in having a full fursuit. So, and I'm also interested in making a fursuit for someone else. So I brought Puppy over for the weekend and be like, hey, let's make some duct tape dummies, and then that's one step out of the way for making a fursuit, because that way we don't need to do like the proper seamstress measurements or anything like that. We just already have a cutout pattern of exactly the right shapes we need.
Yeah. The reason why I do the experiments is because the problem is most of the people that takes commissions. Look, we don't have a lot of furries in South Africa, so the issue of finding a good fursuit builder, there are some people that are getting into it now a little bit more, but
like Yote and
Nixie is doing it, and Yote is doing it.
Like years or yonks or whatever long time that would be applicable.
But anyways, if we have to commission somebody internationally, then normally you have to create a duct tape dummy, ship it there, pay the shipping costs
and that
for the fursuit, get the fursuit made, ship it back where duty fees and shipping is going to get.
Yeah.
Only word, yeah.
So but couldn't you alternatively save all those costs by just sending in some measurements if you're really specific?
Most people only accept that, but some studios I know that takes measurements.
Okay.
And it's those studios that are really expensive.
Yeah, they're very professional.
And even then, like, just the exchange rate is really killing us at this point.
Yeah, that's actually the worst problem. When we're talking about a fursuit, in our currency, we're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50,000 rand.
That's like, like 2 to 3 months worth of salary.
So
about a third of my salary, actually.
So, yeah.
Annually.
Wow.
Annually.
So when we're talking about shipping it, you're easily, with the duty fees and everything involved, a $3,000 fursuit will easily double its price in duty fees and shipping and all those things.
Package?
Your package that you got from the Americas.
Oh, from Threadless?
Yeah.
Like 170 for customs. It's basically like any textiles coming into our country is 50% extra on customs.
Yeah.
50% of what it says on the like package that includes like shipping.
And
there was a point that he'd ordered like 8 shirts and had to pay individually on each shirt. So where his shirts would have cost like $14, I think he ended up paying up to
half of that.
$25.
Here in Canada, we don't really have that problem with crazy fees, but we do have a problem with our border because Canada and the U.S. have a really long and weird history with customs. So customs will just decide to take it upon themselves to not approve random things. Like books cost a lot of money to ship in from the U.S., but if you have it printed in China and you're shipping it from China, it costs significantly less, even though it's coming from 3 times the distance. And that's just because of really outdated laws and tariffs that they have from competing printing and publishing industries. And it goes like hundreds of years back, all of these weird laws and stuff. And anything pornographic you can't get through. My friend Potteroo, which I believe you've had here before, he was telling me stories about how in the 90s, when you wanted to get a furry publication, you couldn't get it through customs because they would immediately flag it as weird porn or bestiality or something like that. And so they you couldn't do it. So they would have one person.
Furries are hugging, it's porn.
they would send one person across the border who would buy like a box of these books, and then come back over, and then everyone would go over to his house and they'd have like a book party.
Well, can it be
through customs?
Can't it be defined as erotica, or is erotica also not allowed?
That would probably make it worse. I supported a Kickstarter for what was it was a series all about wolves and dogs, and it wasn't erotic or anything. I think there was some nudity in it, but I never got it. It was supposed to come with a nice T-shirt and like a bunch of other perks from the Kickstarter, and they had to send it twice, and it never came through. And like I found the artist like a year later at a convention, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have those anymore because it was a limited run." So I got my heart broken, but luckily I also got a refund. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I never made it past customs because there's probably a picture of a dick somewhere in there. Even though Canada doesn't have any laws against LGBT literature, the border will stop any LGBT literature. At least they used to.
That's an interesting fact that Rakuen just sort of posted there. A furry erotica comic led to the formation of the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Really?
Yeah, that's a thing now, apparently.
The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund?
That's cool. I mean, dude, anything, like, every new media goes through a point where it's deemed, like, lesser than anything that's come before it. I mean, it used to be like movies, it used to be TV, now it's video games.
It used to be metal.
I'm talking about media, not specific genres, come on.
That's the media, music is media.
Yeah, music is media, but music is an all-encompassing thing. But everything goes through that transition.
Well, someone has to think of the children.
Exactly, but
why won't someone think of the children?
I don't want to actually talk about that because that is some internet censorship thing that they want to do in our country.
Yeah,
with that exact phrase. Think of the children.
So stupid.
It's like, seriously, if you can't control your own internet from home...
No, it's because people are lazy. They let their kids browse around online wherever they want to, right? Mm. That is actually the problem. It's the parenting, not the freaking content.
Absolutely. I could just imagine a mom walking in going, "Hi Timmy, what are you watching? Oh my god, it's porn. Hey, let me sit down and watch that." What are those foxes doing? Wow, that is interesting. I didn't know a bat could bend that far. I should try that.
With your children. Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit down and talk to them about this stuff.
If they're old enough to use the internet, they're old enough to find porn.
And they're gonna find it.
Well, there's this program that my mom used to use on me when I was younger. It's called Safe Eyes. It was probably the devil incarnated into a computer program, and pretty much it tracked every single site you went to and flagged a bunch of shit, and there was a bunch of, you could blacklist terms and all that kind of stuff. So I had a pretty safe browsing experience, but at one or two points when I landed on something that was flagged, I got caught by my mom immediately, and I'm like, holy shit. I was stuck with this Safe Eyes program until I was like 14, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting my own laptop. So there we go.
Yeah, and then there's people like me. We couldn't look at any like picture or something because it was 56k dial-up.
No, it's okay. Look, look. You talk about the 56k dial-up. I used to sit over the weekend. I would start on Friday, and I would generally go throughout the night, and I would like probably download at least maybe 55 photos.
when you wanted to use the internet, you're like, "Mom, can I use the internet?" Yes, but only for like 10 minutes.
I need to call someone.
Yeah.
No. It's because it actually costs money every minute.
No, actually, we had that like all weekend free thing from Telco.
You're lucky you.
Yep, it was awesome.
I used to split a WoW account with someone who had that. Like myself and another friend had the weekdays, and he was in a hostel in res for most of the week. And when he comes back on the weekend, he just like clogs up the phone line playing WoW the whole bloody weekend.
How did Lurigo apparently managed to block himself from any questionable sites on his sim for a long time ago?
How? Did you call the people and tell them the URL you're visiting or what?
Yeah, I don't know. No, not this one. If it's flagged as no. If there is the vestige of like a bulge in a pants, then nope.
It's a feature in the menu.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm glad I don't know that, actually.
Puppy, you're quite quiet at the moment. Are you still there?
Yeah. Of course, I'm just listening.
Yeah. Speaking of Puppy, furry musicians.
Yes.
How many people are following on there? Like, what kind of content do you guys look at? Is it furry specific?
So furry musician's been around, and it is... Okay, so that brings up the conversation. What is furry music?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, what I think defines furry music, and there's furry music and there's music made by furries. On furry musicians, it's all under one roof, but I would say furry music would contain aspects of the community in terms of, like, you know, perhaps you're singing about a fox or something, like an anthropomorphic fox. Dream Song, actually, have you heard of this singer, any of you?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, well, you must. She's fantastic, and she also happened to be a host on Furry Musicians a while back. She recently put out an album called Not Quite Human, and Not Quite Human essentially is a really cool clash of the influences from our furry community and rock and roll and jazz and stuff like that, and I think that's a great example of what furry music is. Now, music made by furries, that's anything. That's anyone who has a keyboard, who has a MIDI program that wants to make a song. That would be what I think is. It doesn't contain like furry lyrics, or the title isn't furry themed. If it's just an electronic piece or something, I think that would be more like music made by furs.
Yeah.
But either or, we don't really care in furry musicians. We're all one big happy family.
But what do you? Sorry. What do you think about music that is made by a non-furry that has all the furry terms that you can possibly think about in?
Huh?
Wouldn't that just be spoof stuff?
Yeah, normally it is, like, Giffen How Perfect. That was actually a catchy song.
I mean, to be honest, that's technically a furry song. I mean, the person doesn't have to be a furry, but I mean, the lyrics are obviously leaning towards that.
I think maybe, like, in this instance, we're talking about media that has anthropomorphic animals, but isn't necessarily made by furries, like any mainstream...
No, but that was directed at the fandom.
Yeah, okay, I mean, that's true.
So it is just a spoof, you're right, Scratch.
Just,
I guess.
accept it. Like, the thing is, the next thing we're gonna hear is, like, the furry version of the Rickroll.
No, I freaking like
I think
that.
we did. Wasn't that, what does the fox say?
Fair
Kind
enough.
of very memey and Rickroll-y and kind of annoying, but catchy at the same time.
Annoying as shit, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, like Rakuen says, it's furry by content, not by intention.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if
I like that. I'm going to use that.
If that's the case, what's it? I posted a poem to Tempo recently, and he actually asked me to try and write a poem for Sofa Wolf. And like, the thing is that obviously he kind of hey,
nothing.
Anyway, so he like, I asked him, like, what exactly does this need to compose of? Obviously, it can't be like human or anything like that. He's like, no, and I mean, like, he told me to, like, it has to be sort of romantic, because obviously Sofa Wolf is an interesting publication.
Yeah, they're a good publishing company.
At least half of their works are erotic, or at least adults.
So the thing is that it needed to be romantic and things like that. And I kind of sat there going, like, well, firstly, the last time I probably did furry poetry was in grade 9, and I was writing about wolves and nothing but wolves and wolves and wolves.
I bet it's gold. You should definitely dig that up and read it.
It's horrifying.
I think you totally should. I'll read my first poem I wrote for the furry community if you read yours.
I'm gonna have to find it. It's in a box somewhere.
Let's see if I can find mine. Now, I've had a few accounts in the furry community. I've been around since 2000. I don't know, about 5 years, perhaps 6 years. I left for a year into the Brony community, and this is what's really interesting, especially looking at a music point of view. In the Brony community, there is such a powerful music presence, and I was like, what the heck are they doing? What are they doing right? So I spent that year in the Brony fandom, and I kind of started to kind of piece things together, and then when I came back to Fur Affinity, I had some ideas, and that's what started me going and moderating furry musicians, because up to that point, I had just been a musician myself. I wasn't doing any moderating or administrating.
Hey, actually, I can find my. It's not my first one, but it's one of my favorites.
Cool, go for it. I'll find.
No,
mine.
I wanted to hear like one of the worst ones from when you were barely a teenager.
Well, this is from
what I was looking
2004, actually.
Oh, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's pretty old. It's still my favorite. You guys are really sure that I should read this? This is horrifying.
Your
Yes.
fault. Let's do it. We've gone this far.
Okay,
I'll read
cool.
mine after.
So it's called Multicolor Fox.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that
the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's the exact one I'm thinking about. Anyway, rainbow-colored socks cover the feet of the multicolored fox as he went out today. Skip to the right, always quite a sight, multicolored fox is out to play. Running through the meadows, frolic on the plains, technicolor fox is technically insane. Romping all the way, silly games to play, multicolored fox is out today.
Hey, that's cool.
Everyone snap. You don't clap for poetry. You snap.
Of course you don't.
Yep.
God damn it. That just makes me want to play Grim Fandango again.
Lol.
Oh, let's see. Oh, I found. Okay, so you had a story about kind of colors and stuff, and I found a really old poem of mine called "The Colors of Life and Death." 5 years back. This was when it was written. I will see. Since Fur Affinity is currently in read-only mode, I'm going to see if this is going to work for me.
It doesn't even open on my side. It's completely...
It
Exploded.
Yeah, it's absolutely exploded. How could I...
Oh, okay, it's
access
open
it?
again.
Yeah, I won't be able to access it. Let me see if I have some poetry, like, actually just written in the diagram. Let's see. Might not matter. Howls. Hey, the first poem I wrote for the furry community was also about wolves. Yeah, I don't think I'm able to read it because it's locked away right now on Fur Affinity. I can't get to it.
Oh.
It's okay.
Oh, well.
I'll keep an eye on Fur Affinity and see if it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, the thing is that most of my stuff isn't even electronic. That's how bad it was. I wrote a poem about a kitten as well. It's wow. No, it's terrible. Well, how did I write this? I don't even remember writing this poem. I do not remember writing this poem at all.
Maybe you didn't.
I did. I posted it on DeviantArt. I must have. Why would I write about cats?
See, I've never really been a cat person, but just recently, I do work at a shelter locally back home here, and I've gained a greater respect for cats. They're pretty cool. It also helps that Arrkay here has a cat in the house. It's pretty epic.
It's my roommates.
Yeah.
I'm allergic as hell to cats, so can't get.
You aren't missing much. You're cute. You're friendly sometimes. Sometimes.
When they're young, when they get over the age of like 2, they just sleep.
Also, I've been renting, so I can't really keep pets.
Oh, just on point in respect to Ivic, who's actually probably gone by now. Just a little shout out to him. Yeah, he's disappeared. He'll send us a free on Facebook. What is a free? I don't know what that is. I really enjoy. He says he really enjoys this, but he's going to be streaming himself on Twitch. He'll actually be streaming a fur-like game. If anyone cares to join, his name is Armello.
Yeah, I think Armello is the game, and I think that's like a very furry game that they have.
Right, of course,
developers.
Armello. Yes, did that come out now?
It's like a strategy game, I think.
Yeah, it's turn-based.
Okay, that means I'm definitely not going to play it.
Yeah.
I like turn-based games, like Civilization. That's pretty fun.
Stand 'em.
Civilization's fun.
I mean, like a board game, but yeah, I just think I really don't like the setup of turn-based games. Like, I've never played through a Final Fantasy game because I hate the interface.
The only turn-based game I actually really do focus on playing is Pokemon, which is technically turn-based.
Fair enough.
But it's not in the spirit of JRPGs.
Do you have what's the word? Magic the Gathering?
I have Magic.
No.
Do you have the game?
I played it once or
the
twice.
computer game?
Me.
Yes.
I could get it. I mean, I prefer the cardboard crack, but yeah.
Hashtag turn-based game.
Rakuen,
Yep.
I did a drag look of a Sphinx cat.
Drag.
Oh yeah, I have a picture of that.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to set that up. So for Toronto has the monthly furry dance night at a bar. The bar is called The Cage,
Right.
and the club night is called Howl. and this past July, just after Pride weekend, I decided to host a drag night. So me, a furry, and another roommate decided to all get up and drag. My drag name was Miss Farah Decage, and I had this big, giant lion's mane. Like, this thing was ridiculously huge. And I made, like, a prosthetic cat mask for my face with, like, whiskers, and underneath the wig I had a bald cap and, like, leather ears. So I was a Sphinx cat. But I was, like, disguised as a lion at first, and the wig came off. It was like this costume change.
Something RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
You mean RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Oh, well, RuPaul might actually be close enough, I guess.
It gives a new definition to the term catty.
Yeah.
It is.
I had a big bell on my ankle because I was under mouse arrest.
I love it.
Wow. That was horrifying. I'm gonna go wash my head.
Oh, dude, dad jokes are the best. They're relevant to your interests.
All of the drag videos that we took are going to be on an upcoming episode of Culturally Effed. So everyone will get a chance to see me on stage.
Actually, an interesting thing about drag, and I think I might have mentioned it to you, Arrkay, is that I might have spoken about it because I remember you mentioning like your entire drag night thing, and I was actually talking about the fact that there was one of my ex-colleagues. He used to work with us for a while. He was actually a very, very good drag queen. He was, wow, it was amazing. I saw him the one day, I didn't recognize him. He called me by my name and my surname, and I looked at him and I was like, I want to run away right now. I know you. Why do I know you? You've shaved, firstly. Secondly, you look like a woman. And I just I was so dumbstruck, I think I dropped my glass. I was freaked out, like really, really heavily freaked out. And like the thing is that like he actually, because I emailed him off of my normal account, which is like my fur name, and he immediately, being the person that he is, like copy pasted it to see where the hell I was. And like the first thing, like one of the first things that he sees me do in the office is I was checking the South-Afrifur site, and he's like, doing furry stuff already? You aren't even here for one day. I'm like, wait, how do you know I'm a furry? And he's like, yeah, no, I checked your shit. I was like, what? Okay. Wow. And so I sat there and I looked at him for a while, and I was like, okay, this is all right. And then I realized that when he came up to me in drag, I was like, wow, he was actually so chilled about it. And I think one of the things that I'm finally coming to a head here is the fact that like the drag community, because it's sort of like the same kind of thing, putting on a persona.
Absolutely, that's what my whole episode is going to be about. Is comparing creating a persona and putting on a fursuit is very similar to drag queens in that they create a whole new person just to be fun while out in public.
Yeah, and I mean like they were very, very chilled about it. Like they when he was talking, I was talking to him about furry things, and he was actually like listening and very chilled about it as well. And I mean, he was
cool.
actually...
It's always good to encounter someone like that.
I mean, think about it. Like, I mean, what are the odds that you have sex in drag?
That is called kai-kai. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen.
Well, I mean, it's much like, you know, sex in fursuit. It doesn't
absolutely
happen often, but it happens. So
there's plenty of videos on the internet.
It's actually that's one of my main sort of concerns sometimes. Is sit there going like you know, you have these double standards that you place out there, and it's like, oh no, furries aren't allowed to attack. These things. Like gays are they eat the poo poo, and they fist each other. And I was kind of sitting there going like, you know what, if fisting was
I think that's more of an African stigma about gay people.
It was an African stigma.
The stigma that was here for a long time was that all gays are pedophiles. To say absolutely nothing about lesbians. But yeah, there's nothing, no crazy sex acts. They were just after your children. And why won't someone think of the children?
Those poor children, born the way that they are, that can never express themselves because they're not allowed to hear them.
Why do we keep spawning? Seriously. There aren't enough things to go around. Just adopt and get it over with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What were we talking about?
Scratch.
Talking about drag.
I was just talking. I don't know. The conversation has evolved.
I think
wonderful thing of his going on the fly.
If we had a very charismatic fursuiter with a very good articulating jaw, I think you could have a stage persona much in the same way as a drag queen, where they could do lip syncs and like sync up to a monologue or have someone else talking on a microphone, sort of thing.
That would be like some next level stuff if you could make it look believable with all that.
Money, anything is possible.
That's true. I actually just a person I recently befriended. He's experimenting with robotics and fursuits. So he's developing this glove where each finger has, we'll say, like a trigger. I guess it's maybe like wire or something that triggers it, and it does something. Like you want your tail to wag, you do something with one finger. Your ears to flick, you do something with your other finger. It's pretty cool, and I think that clash of, and it's not like I noticed in the community. I mean, there's glowing eyes and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of progress into animatronics and robotics and fursuits, which I think would be really cool to immerse into the role-playing aspect of it if it were to be a thing.
Yeah, but the moment you put animatronics and fursuits together, everybody thinks Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, yeah, of course, but animatronics
that's not necessarily
are
a bad thing. People love that game.
Yeah, but I just think of the scary situation, like you have this suit with all this wires and stuff on the inside. Some of them might actually carry a little bit of voltage. Fire gets started. I don't want to see a guy in synthetic fur burn. I don't think it burns quite.
Dude, it all depends on like how big the battery is. I don't think anybody's gonna strap a car battery to their face.
You'll be surprised, actually. It's really crazy. If you take I know this is not a fursuit, but like that LED head that Deadmau5 wears, right? Yes. You don't want to know how strong the battery pack needs to be for that thing to last the time that it does.
And imagine having to lug that around in your tail.
I can't imagine that it has to be that much for a small fan and a bunch of LEDs. That thing could not draw more than what, like 1 amp hour, 2 amp hour?
No, it is actually a 50 amp guy.
How many LEDs is in that thing?
It's not about how many, it's a stage show. The LEDs have to shine very, very brightly.
Yeah, I suppose.
But also, the friend I was talking about, he was also working on a robotic tail, and just to have the tail sway back and forth, you need a kind of sizable battery on your head for it. Like,
because you need power to move a servo around like that.
Yeah, going against gravity and all that. So the claw, if you put like a counterweight in the tail, it'll help. But
I've always wanted to try making a fursuit head where you can slide in like phones into the eyes, and that way you could actually like track your eye movements and make it blink and like look at people and stuff.
That's one thing that always bothers me about. I like the follow me eyes in fursuits. I really dig it, but mainly because they look a little bit. Especially One for All, when they look in a certain angle, it looks like some weird sinister intentions, and it looks funny as hell because...
Sinister, really?
Yeah, it does. It looks...
Those are come-hither eyes, dude.
It looks really creepy, right?
Well, if they are a fox, they are probably up to something no good.
Yeah, they're probably up to something no good. Anyways. But the weird thing about...
already guilty of something.
The weird thing about it is that I know this person from Fur Affinity Forum.
Oh, there it is.
Faye V, she wrote the article on fursuiting on FA, like a do's and don'ts thing. But she even mentions that when you're wearing that type of suit with the follow me eye thing, that you kind of have to practice like trying to block your eyes out here and there, because he says people get completely freaked out because you don't blink.
Yeah, well that's why I think it'd be cool to either add animatronics to make it blink, or if you get some digital screens that'll blink by themselves every now and again. The only trouble is I have no idea how to program anything for a phone to sync them up properly.
Well, I mean, the thing is that if you had those baby eyes, the ones that do that thing where you tilt the head...
Oh, no, that's wrong!
But wait. Imagine your lids stop.
You're like a drunk furry and their eyeballs are just constantly popping up and down. They look like they were really stoned all the time.
You know what, if you're gonna go for the sort of the dumb look, just like slap some googly eyes on it.
Oh my god, I love to do googly eyes. I would do googly eyes. My partial head for whip, I can actually swap out the eyes, and at the dollar store, they have these like party sunglasses that are all different designs. So I can swap out the eyes, and I get the TV color bars. I also have one that's a white background with black X's. That one, people really like that one.
I have a question. Like, what was the second half of Whip's name? Or was it a bird of what?
Whip is a bird of paradise. To Google image search it, he is specifically a superb bird of paradise. If you've ever seen, there's a David Attenborough documentary where they follow one, and he does this absolutely ridiculous mating dance, and that's why I did.
Is that the one that like lifts its ass in the air and like does this whole like thing with a
It's
like
all black with like a
fan.
It's this big pitch black thing with this big blue stripe right across it. It almost looks like a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bird.
I'm sorry.
Just on point. I wanna say that your name for like full name, if it's bird of paradise, should be Whip Bop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't think of Bird of Paradise without going back to Magic, like one green tap for any mana kind of thing.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, dude, Bird of Paradise is like a freaking Magic standard card, like a staple.
You're a staple Magic card.
I'm having a freaking pre-release at my house, like in 3 weeks.
You're having a what?
Like a Magic pre-release tournament at my house in 3 weeks.
I am face palming so hard right now.
Here,
Why?
I'm copying a video of. There's a YouTube link in the chat for Super Bird of Paradise.
I'm pretty sure you can just go like Super Bird of Paradise GIF and find like a billion of them.
Now, if you guys have your fursuits, are you going to do the videos in fursuit?
Oh, that would be fun.
I will introduce certainly some fursuit elements into my videos, but it won't be all the time. I think it's very important for me to show my real face.
It's actually more of a professional video thing.
It's more professional, and I think I'm trying to part of why I want to sort of dissect the furry fandom and all of the anthropomorphic mediums. I want to dispel furry as this weird thing and to be ashamed of.
Well, you want to put a normal face onto onto the image, right?
Well, you can do one video in a fursuit to dispel that whole concept as being normal as well.
Shame.
For sure.
Shame.
There was a really amazing YouTube video. I saw it a while back. It was a film of some person's improvised or some person's script for their theater final at school, and he pretty much had the whole fursuit thing going, and it was to a crowd of a bunch of non-furs, or perhaps there was one or two in the crowd, but that wasn't the audience. And it was just really, really cool how the audience reacted to it. I'm trying to think about what it was actually called, but if I find it, I'll have to link it. It's really, really, really cool.
People normally don't react that negatively as people think, especially when you're coming in front of a bunch of strangers, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because the reality is the general public doesn't really know what furries are. They may have heard of it maybe once in their lives, but they don't really pay it much mind.
Even if they know.
Yeah, it's the people who are on like 4chan or something awful whose experience of furries are these check out these weirdos on the internet over here. Those people are the people who have the negative stigma and who help perpetuate that. That and of course mainstream media who always enjoy a good freak show.
Yes,
but with that said, mainstream media has been portraying us in a lot more of a favorable light recently. It's actually cool. I think you had mentioned this to me, Arrkay, that by tracking the past 6-7 years of each, what news site covered?
My idea, I'm wrapping up season 1 of Culturally F, just this 14-episode run, and so I'm starting to write out scripts and get ideas for quote-unquote season 2. And one thing I want to start to is to do curated playlists. So I'm just going to collect all these videos and sort of introduce them, and then after a few videos play, I'll sneak one of my own videos in there and talk about the videos we just watched, introduce the next videos. And one of the episodes, one of the playlists I want to do, I'm going to do one for music videos, fursuit videos, maybe Russian cartoons, and the one we're talking about now is I want to do furries in the news. And me and my roommate, we're going to dress up like news anchors and like spout out some fake furry headlines. and have a playlist of all of the times like the local news has checked out the local furry convention.
That sounds
and
fun.
What I noticed is in the past 5 years, it has been very neutral and more positive. As hey, this is this fun thing this weird group of adults do, and it seems to be working well for Pittsburgh.
Speaking of
Whereas in the 2000s, it was way more negative and weird, and like, what are these weirdos doing over here? And in the 90s, it was a lot more. It was just a lot more confused.
I can actually envision a furry version of John Oliver.
Yeah, I can imagine that as well. Just
what animal would you be?
On point in respect to that, like
John Oliver. Sorry, let Ivic go on while I think. John Oliver.
John Otter.
John Otter. I like Otter.
Yeah, Otter. Okay, Ivic, continue.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, I was thinking like they actually did a spot on the Young Turks. I think it was about a year ago, 2 years ago, where one of the anchors there actually mentioned that she wouldn't actually even be phased. Like she actually said, I know that what was it, Jenk Jaeger or something like that, mentioned he's like, no, this is kind of weird, and then like the girl was like, nah, why not? Sounds like a good idea. If they told me that this is what was going on, I'd probably enjoy it. And I was kind of sitting there going like,
do you have the link to that? I would love to have it for my playlist.
Yeah, I'll find that video again. I was on Google Plus that I saw one of the furs there like popped it up, and I actually watched the thing because I love the Young Turks. It's one of my favorite things.
But are you done?
No. I want to carry on talking about absolutely nothing for a while. Go on.
What I don't see is what your content is going to be in the news thing. Because if there is any news, it's going to be drama.
Right. Well, I mean, the playlist itself is just going to like speak for itself. But as for when we get to my sections, I wrote down a bunch of fake headlines, and Patch, what's his name? Patch, who writes the furry news site Dog Patch Press, he's been tweeting a lot of really fake news headlines with my encouragement, so I'm going to steal some of those as well. Let me just bring up some of my notes for that upcoming thing. Some of them aren't great. All right, so the topic tonight: furries. What are they? Does anybody care? Are they weird enough to get people to watch our crappy local news station? Does anybody even watch the news on TV anymore? In other news, disappointed fursuiters have issued a statement today demanding more groping by strangers at conventions and in public in general. Hotel staff in Pittsburgh are protesting the return of Anthrocon, stating that they are, quote, tired of this shit. A viral video of a 12-year-old daughter of a furry couple coming out as human to her parents has gone viral.
Oh, wow.
Bad Dragon has announced a new line of products. Bad Dragon has announced a new line of products, which are full-size casts of famous fursuiters.
Seems legit.
Yeah, so legit. I actually want to, I only found out, it was today, while watching one of Red Foo's videos, because I was mentioning the fact that he'd gone to Anthrocon and things like that. And yes, maybe this will sound like I'm so backwards and everything like that, but apparently Red Foo confirmed that he was a furry.
Who?
Damn it. The guy who does, God damn it, what do I think about Gangnam Style now? That does not work for me. That guy with the big fucking afro.
Not ringing a bell.
Dances a lot. Party Rock. Party Rock guy.
Oh, Alimify. Oh.
That guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You aren't thinking of Andrew WK.
No, well, Andrew WK, like, that's confirmed. Like, he
yeah,
loves
but he might just... I think that part of that could just be, like, a marketing thing. Like, no one's listening to my music. I'm going to say I'm a furry, and then furries will listen to my music.
Can I make your old everybody stay here really crap?
I hate you already.
Don't, please don't. I know what you're going to say.
No, I can probably
do it.
Scratch knows what I'm going to say.
Okay, someone Skype me when you're done with this conversation. I don't want to hear about this asshole. I know you're I'm done.
Bye.
Wow.
Wow, he's serious about this.
Well, what exactly are we about to be walking into here? Because
Is it funny?
Yes. Kanye West created the persona, and he has a fursuit known as Kanye West, known as Dropout Bear.
oh,
Just, you know
good
what,
God,
On point on that, Kanye West is also going to run for president in 2020.
2020.
Apparent.
Yep.
Not until Donald Trump wins.
Oh man, yeah, that Kanye West guy, he's something.
The fucking asshole.
Yeah. Well put.
But seriously, thinking about him, it just gives me an enormous, like, rage headache.
Okay,
I was
so who would
thinking
prefer
that
be
you were
stuck
gonna go
in a room
somewhere
with
else
him
with
or
that,
Justin
sorry.
Bieber?
Hmm?
Who would you prefer to be stuck in a room with, him or Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber, like, a million
that's
times over.
oh.
Like, no,
I don't know,
seriously,
they
like,
both
like,
sound-
Yeah, but no, I actually agree with Scratch. Justin Bieber didn't forget the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's not that he forgot, it's just that he didn't really want to sing it. I don't actually even know why the hell he was singing that thing in the first place.
all respect to Justin Bieber, like, he came out of nowhere, he did his own thing, people started hating on him, then he turned into an asshole. Kanye was an asshole to begin with. And he's the
Yeah, he's got a really big
self-centered-
ego, right? That's
the most self-centered, fucking self-entitled asshole I can think
you know
of.
what he named his
The
kid?
fact that he exists, I know. But the fact that he exists on this planet is
Okay.
yeah. See, this is what it gets me. This
Yeah.
is what
Wow.
Don't ever talk about Kanye West around Scratch.
Well, with the Biebs, what happened was that he got famous young, and so
Yeah,
like
that's
you're still
not a good
developing
combination.
and like socializing when you're a teenager. So if
Yeah.
you're suddenly worth billions of dollars and touring the entire world, it really fucks with you.
It just
So
went to
I can sympathize with the Biebs there. The
Yeah.
other thing to note is Justin being Canadian. Canadians have a habit of disowning anyone who becomes too popular. So Nickelback and
Bryan Adams.
yeah, just if they get too huge, then we're like, oh no, we don't want that anymore. You can, the rest of the world can have them.
I think if I'm not
Celine Dion.
Yeah, Celine Dion, that's the one. She got too big, and Canada started to hate her, and it happens all the time.
It's kind of the same thing that apparently happened to, like I said, with Red Foo. Apparently with his music videos and things like that, they disowned him for being Australian. They're like,
Why?
you are a disgrace to
popular.
Australia, we do not want to see you here again.
God.
Yeah, it's just they reach a point, and then their home country is just like, okay, we're done with you. You can stay outside of the country.
oh, geez, if our country can do something like that, then the Antwoord would have been gone.
I mean, Nickelback is like a curse word in Canada.
Yeah, I know that. It's actually really weird because they're not as terrible as Creed.
I honestly just hope it doesn't happen with Trevor Noah.
But they're bigger than Creed, and that's what matters.
Oh. Is it? I didn't even know that. Maybe now, but Creed was huge when it came out.
That is a weird GIF.
What's this kid?
I'm looking at the GIF that they, like, it's...
Nice, I like it.
That's, wow. What the hell?
That expression, though.
Yeah.
What the...
Now I need to put it on the freaking video.
Yeah, as Rakuen says, you need a partner who loves you as much as Kanye loves Kanye.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll link it.
Fucking the jingling keys.
But moving off of weird celebrities that might be furries, I know, you can make that reference with almost anybody. I mean, would you say furries tend to have done this quite a few times, that like Johnny Depp once wore like an animal costume to some awards, and all of a sudden it's like all across the show, like, is this guy a furry?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
No,
He
not at
just
all.
wore a freaking animal costume as a joke. People
Yeah, I
do
mean, if
that.
that's the case, do the people who, like, become mascots, are they all furries?
York wore a swan to something.
Exactly. But furries like to do that. I think they want that celebrity inside the fandom, right?
For sure.
Look, I have two words. Meat dress. Like, how much more furry can you get? That's a cow.
Talking about Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
I absolutely think Lady Gaga is a furry. I was really into her when she was blowing up, and some of her early work is some pretty furry themes in her music.
Lady Gaga is everything.
Show me your teeth, shake your kitty. There's all sorts of weird animal imagery in her videos. Like, I could totally see Lady Gaga as a closet furry.
She probably murders. She fursuits. She meat suits. She all suits.
Look, I mean, if that's the case, then obviously the Antwoord is also furry, and I don't want that to happen.
Well, maybe.
I really don't want that to happen, because the thing is that, like, if you want people who have actually, like, disowned a specific group from South Africa, it is literally the Antwoord.
Really?
Like,
is it just that popular outside of your own country?
It's those guys that played in Chappie, the rappers.
Yeah, I recently ran into that guy through Chappie.
Chappie was the worst.
See, I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean,
I don't know.
The themes that were brought up in it were interesting to me. I mean, sure, there's a lot of plot holes and stuff, but...
The acting was terrible, but
the acting from them was terrible.
When you have a musician in an acting role.
Actually, I'm gonna say the acting of everybody in that film was terrible. Sigourney Weaver and Hugh Jackman.
In all fairness, Hugh Jackman is just Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman can act however the hell he wants. He is good. Shut up. I'm fanboying.
No, he is freaking crap in that film, man. But actually, he's not that great of an actor.
What? No!
You're spitting heresy and Ivic wants to allow it. Hey, you can't hit.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to.
But it was a good story, and actually the movie was kind of likable, except for the Antwoord being the gangsters.
Yeah, let's go rob a bank.
I actually love the part where he said, "Hey, you push."
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch that movie.
By the way, in English, that is like
it's kind of
just with the Y with the England.
What was it?
Is that all just bacon? Anyway?
I don't know what it is, but for South Africa, actors acting really South African, I still think like Sholto Copley takes it in both Elysium and District 9. Like,
yeah,
I love the way that guy speaks.
Here's the sweetie man.
Oh, here comes the sweetie man.
Oh. But Neil Blomkamp is part of like that content that our country can actually produce.
Yeah.
That is actually good.
He was supposed to do the Halo movie.
Yeah, I know that.
And there was a Halo movie happening.
Yeah, what happened was there was a dispute between Universal and Sony, who both somehow had the rights to it or something, or Sony and Microsoft, and it ended up falling through. And then Peter Jackson was like, "Well, I promised you could make a movie, so let's make District 9 instead," which was a great decision.
District 9 came about.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. That's a good
they were supposed to make the Halo movie. They made like a trailer for it, and the trailer is amazing.
Yeah, I also saw the trailer.
Yeah, but it never happened because of the licensing dispute or some bullshit. So Peter Jackson was like, "Well,
I heard a lot of the props and stuff
for a movie
for the Halo movie was actually used in District 9."
Yeah, it was.
And that also explains a little bit of Elysium's world, like that ring.
I'm not sure if I've seen Elysium.
Oh yeah, the ring. You're right. And I liked Elysium. I thought that was another pretty cool movie.
Elysium was pretty good.
Yeah, plenty of South Africa, they just pretend not to be.
I'm still like, I'm still kind of blown away by the budget that they had for like District 9. That was like shoestring and a half, and they managed to make an incredible movie.
Yeah.
It was an awesome movie. I really liked it. I wonder if there's going to be a sequel. I mean, the stupid prawn said 3 years tops.
Yeah, but why would
you know what? In all fairness, it actually also created a whole new sort of furry character that people could be to an extent. Because no. Think about it. You guys remember? You guys all know Duo Radon, right?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Then
Duo Radon and Squeaky on Fur Affinity.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna send you guys this page. The thing is, you will recognize his art or her art.
Okay. Their
art, yeah, that's probably it. But the thing is that now, after District 9, like Duo Radon or Squeaky or whichever one of them actually started doing a whole lot of like art involving prawns.
Yeah. Well,
How can District 9 be your film to study from a trick?
I don't know.
It's
Well,
a little
I mean,
bit.
if that's the case.
It's a little bit strange for a film for school kids.
Good. If that's the case, bravo. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to do District 9 as a study.
Yes, in Rakuen, Elon Musk. I don't know what his deal is, but there's the guy. By the way, for those that don't know who Elon Musk is, it's the owner of Tesla.
Guys, rich shit.
Yeah, I know who Elon Musk is. He's that crazy billionaire who wants to take us to space and fix all of our problems.
Among many other things.
Originally from
solar
South
panels on
Africa.
every roof and batteries.
And cars that accelerate
SpaceX.
like hell, but just use electric motors.
Yep.
Yeah, all that cool stuff.
They sell these battery packs now that can run like a refrigerator for 7 hours. Weird.
Wow.
They're having they just release like these house units that you charge with solar panels on your roof and then
Tesla
like
Power.
yeah, it's by Tesla.
Yeah, that's on its way. It's like it's already. I think it starts production like 2017 or something, but it's already like.
I thought it was out already.
Yeah.
My brother is super into like he made his own electric car and now he's gonna make his own house battery. He's just one of those wacky engineers.
In all honesty, like I think that's the best thing you can do. Just like take time off, put some cash aside, and go off the grid.
Yeah. Well,
You
I mean,
can-
a lot of
you-
people are
you'll-
beginning to do that here in South Africa. I can tell you that much.
You'll never completely escape the grid because you still need water.
Internet.
Internet.
Yeah, like it's pretty hard to get to dig a well these days. Get all the
And
proper
even then, like,
filtering
in- Up here in nearby Pretoria West, they've been complaining because the municipality actually may have, what's the word, contaminated the entire underground water supply.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool. Who's fracking?
I'm not sure. I doubt it's fracking. I don't think necessarily we've got the government to be able to have the responsibility to frack properly anyway. But no, it wasn't even that. It was sewage. Like literally, one of the sewage lines in the area had literally burst and just ran straight into the underground water supply.
Ugh, that's exactly what you want.
I know. Here in Canada, the idea of just being able to leave and live off the land or live off the grid, it's a lot harder because before we were covered by squatters' rights and a policy that was introduced. I don't know how many years back makes it that you can only like stay in one spot that you don't actually own for like 25 or 20 days before you have to move. So it kind of prevents people from. I mean, you have to live like a nomadic life if you want to actually do something like that.
We had a hospital here, I think it was this year or last year. I read a news article that the hospital started bleeding. Blood, like
Oh, right, you're right, yeah.
everywhere. I don't know. From like the sewage, from everywhere, there was just blood everywhere.
Oh, there was an Onion article of a blood pipeline has burst.
That kind of sounds like the
Pure crude blood.
Yeah, but this is not an Onion article. This actually happened.
r/not the onion.
It does sound like creepypasta, and it looks 10 times worse than it probably even is, because you see it, but it's mostly water, but it's like red. So,
Damn, that's a little bit not cool.
but to get off the grid, you're gonna need like proper solar power and proper batteries. Now Tesla is probably working in that direction.
Oh, very much so.
And then, well, you're gonna have to be really energy efficient.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you're supposed to be
That's
energy
the north,
efficient
that
regardless.
that bloody hospital was in the Northern Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kimberley actually. Human blood flowing from a government hospital into the streets of Kuruman has raised serious concerns that the town is on the brink of a disease outbreak.
Obviously, that would be the number one concern. Kids,
Emanating
kids
from a manhole.
yeah, like I'm telling you, from the sewage, the freaking blood is coming up into the street. It's
Whoa.
fucking weird, dude.
Gross.
But I don't know what's worse. How much blood is there in a hospital? Or is it... What is the real story here?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like,
You know, where's...
Where are they keeping their blood?
Where's all this blood coming from?
Usually
No,
you think of bloods in hospitals and they're all in like the big IV bags, right?
Yeah.
At least that's where you hope they are, and not, you know, running down a sewage pipe. Gross.
Oh, that's our country for you guys.
I keep donating blood, and I hear shit like this happens.
Yeah, look, I mean, dude, your blood is probably just leaking out of a Northern Cape hospital.
Out of a manhole cover, like.
Like we need to drain some of your blood. We're just gonna hook it up and stick the other end out the window.
Do you guys have any idea how bad that smells, by the way?
Blood, it smells like iron.
No, but I mean,
yeah,
like,
it's metallic,
after
isn't it?
blood has been sticking
Oh,
around.
no, it doesn't smell good. It smells like dead flesh.
And
No, exactly. Ugh. No,
But-
I went into like a freezer.
Let's
that
talk
they-
about like something nice, like kittens or something.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of horror movies recently. I had to bring that one up.
Speaking about horror movies and horror games, like Until Dawn, holy shit!
Oh yeah, I've been watching a playthrough of that game. It's pretty epic.
I've been watching 2 playthroughs.
Yeah, I have a
Jackson
friend-
Markiplier.
I have a
Oh,
friend-
see me too. Wow.
No seriously good horrors, but for the movie side of things, I kind of like the premise for what's that film? As Above, So Below.
Oh.
I don't know that.
Have you guys heard about the Babadook?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've watched it.
Goodness
That's a
me, that
terrifying
movie looks
movie.
scary.
It's weird. It's like a hit and miss for people. I was up in Florida a bit back, and I was with my brothers, and they like horror movies as well. So one night we watched a horror movie called Oculus. Have you heard of this one?
Yes, I've also watched it.
And they got seriously like creeped out over, and I was like kind of creeped out. But then when we watched The Babadook, it was like a Freudian horror, right? Oculus is like a psychological horror. Babadook is like a Freudian horror, and I got like really, really unnerved by The Babadook. Something about it just didn't sit right with me. And it wasn't even like the budget wasn't even that high for the movie. They didn't really need these fancy special effects and stuff. So I was really impressed with how they put that one out.
Something put me off of that movie. I liked it, but there was something with the acting and the style that it was done that made it like not scary at all. It made it look like more comical than really creepy.
In The Babadook?
In The Babadook, yes.
I don't know, man. That scene where the dog gets killed made me really sad.
But the Babadook was one horror out of the 10,000 horrors that is now out that is not a found footage film.
Yeah.
What about, speaking about furry things, actually, in respect to what we're actually talking about, what about the Owlman?
Yeah.
Oh, is that...
Was that a movie or just like the myth?
There was a movie that was based on a myth,
Okay.
and it's based off of this guy. He looks scary as shit, by the way. Oh, jeez.
By the way, for those who don't know, As Above, So Below, it takes place in the Paris catacombs.
Cool.
That's why I like the premise. It's like fucking creepy to be there, not...
Jesus, that guy's creepy.
That's the Owlman. He's...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
Nice.
frickin' shit. I want that suit.
Talk about...
No, I think this is a Photoshop. I've seen
Wow.
many shops in my day.
That's a shop.
I totally want to make something like
There's
this.
there's actually there's video. They've actually to what's the word, to raise like awareness for the film and stuff like that. They actually got like a guy out in that suit and took him to the castle that he was supposed to be like at.
Yeah.
And like all these tourists generally just
I
go
just-
to this place to like take pictures and whatnot, just to like walk out of an area. The way that these people screamed, it was amazing. There was actually a guy who was cornered. He literally fell down and gave up. He's
Oh,
like,
God.
oh my god, oh my god. He falls down. He's just like, okay, no, please don't, please don't. He doesn't even run. He just lies down. He's like, no, no, no.
That's
It's
horrifying.
amazing. It is so horrifying.
So, for Camp Feral, I submitted a story which I'm going to adapt to script for Culturally Eft, and it's about cryptozoology, anthros in modern myth, and I actually researched all about the Owl Man for this bit of nonfiction. I mean, anyway. And that reminds me of, there was a lizard man photographed very recently. I'm just there, the lizard man of Scape or Swamp, and they got a cell phone picture, and it is very clearly a guy in a rubber lizard suit, and it's amazing. And I'm gonna see if I can dig up a picture of that.
Please do.
For those of you who want to see like the scares from this thing, have a look at that YouTube link that I just posted there. Oh my goodness me, it's weird. But I mean, that suit in and of itself is scary as hell.
Here it is.
What's the story behind the Owl Man? Like,
just some guy and his daughters claim to have see the Owl Man above a church in England or Scotland or something.
Or Wales.
And that's pretty much it. And it was kind of creepy. And yeah, people get excited about creepy things.
Of course.
But owls can be creepy.
Sure.
Owls are always creepy. Sorry, Cornish.
Ever watched The Fourth Kind?
The fifth... Is it? Yeah, it is the fourth kind. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when you're saying owls. They use the owl in there for creepiness as well. The fourth kind was a really creepy.
And it's about alien abductions.
Is it something about the head or the eyes or what is it?
I think it's the eyes, especially at night. At night, like they're really reflective of any small amount of light, whether it's coming from the moon or if you have a flashlight. So if you aren't if you just catch a flash of it, then your brain just twists all of the images around it, and you immediately assume it's like
demons.
It's like a little devil or a demon or something, but it's probably just a regular sized owl.
Fair enough.
But as for lizard men and swamps, I mean, you can't refute that evidence.
Yeah, I saw that picture. That's straight up a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Look at that GIF I seen.
Great.
Just like just in respect to what's the word? This Owlman thing. Apparently, they're talking about hoax by Shields, surrealist painter and writer, showman, wizard, and arch hoaxer. Wizard. Yes.
Well, anyone who has wizard on their business card.
Yeah.
God, I'm almost there though. I have like this really Hagrid thing going on. Like Hagrid from Harry Potter, not Hagrid like the English word.
Scratch, you are the incarnation of Hagrid without the Cornish accent.
You're a wizard, Hagrid.
Yeah, the more you grow your beard, the more...
I'm almost there.
Here's a response to that owl. That owl, Jeff. You're welcome.
Am I gonna hate you for this? Oh, that one! I remember this one. That is amazing. You're just on point. Accretion. When you upload this video, I want you to put all of these links in the bottom.
I know.
And put them with the time frames for when we're actually laughing about them, so people can laugh with.
Okay.
You're awesome. Anyway, so those of you who actually want to watch this a bit later, or if you came in a bit late,
shame on you.
that's what we're gonna do. And shame on you, yes.
And by the way, because we talked about horror movies for a little while, I want to actually stress that we might have to start changing our theme to a little bit more of a Halloween thing as the date gets closer.
Pumpkin spice season.
We don't have that, thank God. People really celebrate Halloween.
Yes?
I fucking love Halloween.
Not you.
It is my favorite time of year.
Scratch.
Yeah?
Unpoo.
Yes.
And the two of you who are listening as well. And everybody else who's listening. In... what is it, 20 days? Around about 20 days? 18 days? Yeah, 21st, if I'm not mistaken. So the 20th. So 2 weeks from now, that Sunday, is South-Afrifur's 1 year anniversary.
Oh,
Hooray.
hey! Congratulations.
Good work,
Yeah.
guys.
So we're trying to figure out to have a very, very nice podcast for that day. If you guys want to, please send your comments to our email address, southafrifur@gmail.com. Is it South-Afrifur for one word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So send your sort of ideas and things like that for a good podcast if you really want to. Send it through south-afrifur@gmail.com. Otherwise, comment on our Twitter site, which is south.afrifur. South-Afrifur. Yeah. So yeah, we are in fact actually coming up with that. There are no caps. It's all lowercase. We're not that important. But yeah, so yeah, with Halloween coming up as well, we'll probably do something special for then in October. And that would actually be an interesting thing, like a furry Halloween thing. Inpw, I need you to find creepy music that we can play in the background.
Yeah, if I'm here, eh?
Okay.
Well, you know, I might be able to hook you guys up with some furry-made creepy music, because each year we do a Halloween feature on our site. That might be relevant to the theme.
Everything needs to be in E minor.
Just some theremin music.
I
Not
completely.
enough people play the theremin.
And not enough bands have the theremin in them. Like, I mean, Cake always has the theremin in their songs, and I love it.
So does the Beach Boys.
Yeah, but that was way back.
Well, you don't need to play the theremin to synthesize the same sound.
Fair enough.
It's
But
like the most weird. It's like the most stupid sound to synthesize.
I just like the idea of someone trying to play the theremin by basically just the science behind it is still like really funny to me that they managed to make an instrument out of it.
But yeah, we're actually coming up to the end of the podcast. Hour and a half, pretty much. Does Lurigo have a theremin? Well, you can make a very, very like good working theremin these days with like a whole bunch of electronic bits and pieces.
Yeah, you can make a basic theremin. Like,
Which kind of reminds me of that guy who tried to make a guitar by like plugging the amp directly and the amp and the electricity directly to the wires. And like as he strums it, he shocks himself to crap. It was amazing.
What? He plugged the guitar
No,
in
no,
the
no.
wall socket.
He made like a wooden guitar with metal strings and everything like that, and he's like, yeah, homemade electric guitar. And like the amps were going directly to or at least the wires were going directly to the guitar itself. And like he strums once, shocks himself to shit. And no, you hear like everything just drops and like the power goes out. Amazing.
Awesome.
Yep.
Ivic, could you actually describe the convention you guys are trying to put on? Because if I link this to my page later on, I might want to direct people to like if they want to learn more. Do you want to give us some details on that?
Sure. Where do I start?
Okay, so you said that it was the first in Africa.
Yeah, pretty much the first in Africa.
That will mean though there will be a furry convention on every continent.
Yes, haha.
Oh no! Wait, hold on a second here.
Not in.
Ivic,
Yes.
what are you saying?
It's not the first. What? Shut up.
I think
It's still
did Puppy just ruin
South-Afrifur.
something for everyone?
It is still South-Afrifur. It'll be the first one in South Africa.
No. It's not the first convention in South Africa. It's the first convention
The first like set convention. Well, no.
that we do at a location that is not
It's the fourth.
somebody's home or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fur meet. That's not a furry convention.
Yeah, so this is a legitimate convention.
The convention is at a third-party hotel or convention center, and yeah, it has all the bells.
Rakuen is gonna have a hissy fit in about 15 seconds. There were furry conventions that were started up in 2010 to I think 2008 to about 2010. 2011 was the first one that nobody actually came to and failed miserably. I think. But the thing is that we kind of came up with the idea that we need to actually move. The first one was actually at a third party in Cape Town, but again, like the group meetup was about 16 people. We're aiming for 50 people, so we can actually I think 50 people would be, I think by my definition, and again, Rakuen before he gets angry at me. The thing is that 50 people is our cutoff line, and I think 50 people is pretty much what you could actually call a con. Like 25
Yeah, I mean,
let somebody
enough.
buy. Yeah,
Didn't Anthrocon start it with like 50 people in its first year or something?
500.
Or not Anthrocon,
The-
there was
Conference Zero, the
Zero,
first
there we go.
ever furry convention.
Yeah.
The total attendance was about 60 people.
Yeah, so
And
everyone
that
starts
was in
somewhere.
1989, somewhere in California or San Diego, I think. And yeah, so about 60 people showed up at the first furry convention, and then they reached their peak in 1998 at like 1,200 people. So it took them less than 10 years to add 2 digits to their attendance. Or,
Now,
10 years, yeah.
Ivic, do you have a web page for the convention yet, or is it just kind of the same as the page you're using for your tweets and all that?
Busy working on it. We're actually just
Okay.
we're busy trying to fill out the details and things like that. There's a couple of things that we want to put up there, but the website will be up and running probably before the end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's in Bloemfontein, which is in the Free State, during the June-July months. June or July? I keep fucking getting
July.
it. Is it July?
Yes.
Is it July?
Yes.
1st to the 3rd,
Yes.
July.
Yes.
Yes.
1st to the 3rd July?
Yes.
Let me just double check that. Stop that. What are you doing? 2016, June, July. Yes, 1st to the 3rd of July. Aside from that, yeah, we're going to have it on the campus itself. At this point, it will be called the South-Afrifur Con because that's pretty much been the name that we've been running with since 2008. Yeah, and pretty much we're working together with like a whole bunch of other furs, all 3 of us included, oddly enough. And there's about maybe 2 or 3 other furs that are actually also helping in respect to logistics and financing and things like that.
Okay, that's good to have that covered.
Yeah. No, we've definitely got most of the bases covered at this point. It's just like getting the word out there is pretty much the...
We have a legitimate accountant doing our financing.
We do.
Everything is above board.
I think so. But yeah.
We have somebody who deals with money on a daily basis that's working with it,
Okay.
yes. So yeah. We're definitely like working towards getting this for July of next year. The website, like I said, will most probably be... Look, all the base work for that website is up. Just the information needs to be put in there. And yeah, so you'll definitely see that link pop in within the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Just because we need a couple of documents that we need to finish.
And a lot of people are waiting for me, and I'm busy moving.
You still got plenty of time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that people still need to pay.
I know.
So plenty of time versus not plenty of time. But yeah, well, like I said, I think by the end of September we'll probably have most of our knots tied, and then we're definitely going for it.
All right, cool.
Properly
That's
knotted.
interesting.
Probably knotted, yeah.
I was waiting for someone to jump on that. Goddamn furries, I tell ya.
But it's gonna... It's gonna...
It'll
Yeah?
it'll take about 6 months for it to pop out again. So hey,
Ah, fuck, man.
But to get a perspective of the con, it's really chilled, it's relaxed. We don't have dealers' rooms and this and that. It's going to be all gathering of things with a main hall or whatnot that we can use, and that's about it, because you cannot really make a lot of diverse kind of content for a group of 50 people.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to make it really chill, really relaxed, and that is what it is.
And then the next year you can use this, the momentum, whatever momentum you get this, well, I guess this upcoming year, to push the con to further reaches of the world, because you'll have like definitive backing behind you. You'll have proof like this convention went on and it went good.
Yeah.
You know, more people should come next time. It's a good idea. By the way, I just noticed that Fur Affinity was back on, and I can access that first poem I wrote, or the poem I wrote about colors.
So we can end off the poem with the podcast with a poem, not the poem.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it. So you had done earlier on in the podcast the story or the poem about the multicolored fox, which is fantastic, by the way. And I named this poem "The Colors of Life and Death." I was going through kind of a moodier stage. This was probably back when I was 16, perhaps,
So
right in the
much
proper
angst.
time to be moody. Yeah. All right, here we go. I saw him come and had no time to react, that's in brackets. The gun smoke is black, like agony. The impact then splatter is red, like pain. Taken by surprise, I register. The fall backwards through air is grey, like reality. The ground is green, like sickness. Dying now, I gaze heavenwards. The vast sky is blue, like sadness. The clouds are white, like peace. The assailant leaves with a laugh. My gaze falls from the heavens and the ground is brown, like decay. The dandelion here in the crack is yellow, like blindness. From closed eyes I see a flash of violet, like remorse. Blotches of pinkish indigo, like lost love. Lightness surrounds me and I rise. Look down and my body is pale, like emptiness. My tongue is grey, like death. I am not disturbed. My soul is translucent, like divinity. My mind is vibrant, like clarity. Death is only the beginning of new life. That is the end of it.
Nice.
There, some colors. Some colors. Slightly morose.
That wasn't
but
very
you know what?
furry, though.
That was not... Oh, okay, well the furry one is Howls, obviously.
Well, we already did the poem.
Yeah. That was colors, though. Okay, yeah, that was that.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Puppy, what I'd like you to do is possibly just pop a link to your Fur Affinity page.
Yes.
Arrkay, you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that people can follow you and then just like bother you
Make
for the
sure to
next
go
couple
to youtube.com/culturallyeft and subscribe.
Yes.
subscribe.
I'm
Make
really
sure that he hits
surprised.
500 followers in the next 2 weeks.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be very sweet.
Right now I'm at 260 subscribers. So you have to double that.
I just want to make sure that it's the exact group. Yeah, that's the group that I have the icon linked on my profile.
Oh, cool. I'm going to go and say hi to you after this is all over. I didn't know. But yeah, our group's really easy to find. It's just furry musicians on Fur Affinity. Pretty original, and we're very active at the moment. We have 2 hosts running. I'm keeping them in track. They're running weekly spotlights for the music that's been going on in the week. I go out and do some promotional mixes once in a while. What else?
Yeah, I see DJ Pop.
Yeah, that's how Puppy came out of it. I mean, prior to being part of Furry Musicians, I was just DJ Pop. This is after I came back from the Brony fandom, and people just started calling me Puppy. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's my name. So that's kind of that's me. DJ Pop was my old account.
Vinyl, Ableton Live, Tractor, Serata Itch.
Where's this? Sorry.
What do you use?
Oh, I don't actually make. I used to make a lot of music.
No,
I
to
used,
mix.
Decadence.
Oh, Decadence, okay.
Yeah,
right.
but
So
recently,
that's from
since I
Image
shut
Line.
this- Yeah, sorry, Image Line. Yeah, it is. But just recently, since I wiped my computer, I've been actually using Acid Pro, and it's actually giving me a really decent mix. Like the most recent album that I mixed for the group page, like Not Quite Human by Dream Song. That was like all done really straightforwards in Acid Pro, and I liked how it turned out.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so if you're a musician or you're a fan of music inside of the fandom or outside of the fandom, this group is most definitely for you.
Kill beans.
All right. I'd like to thank the people listening to us today. Rakuen, Cuddlewolf, Victor, Kinkin Zede, Larigo, whoever else is watching but hasn't created a name and doesn't want to comment. Thank you very much for listening to our podcast. We'll have it loaded up within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So for those of you who did come late, I think Tox was on at some point as well. But yeah, thanks a lot for listening. Thank you for joining us, both Puppy and
It was a
Arrkay.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely fun.
All right. Did I say Larigo?
Yeah, you did.
I
Larigo again.
I posted all of my social media links for Culturally F in the chat for people to look up on whatever medium they prefer.
All right. And we'll see you guys next week, Sunday. I'll be working out who we want to have on that Sunday, and I'll post that somewhere within the week. So yeah, keep an eye out. We post on South-Afrifur, we post on Twitter. Remember, follow our Twitter page, South-Afrifur, Facebook page, South-Afrifur, YouTube page, South-Afrifur. And
First stream, South-Afrifur.
Yeah, first stream, South-Afrifur, yeah. So yeah, have a listen to us, and thank you guys for listening again.
Yeah, and thank you guys again, Arrkay and Puppy. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you on the internet.